Here we go, 6-8, complex numbers. Complex numbers is just another way of saying letter I. That being said, we can just dive right in. All right, so example one, a lot of people, when they see a pair of binomial or pair of parentheses, they think, I got a FOIL. And guess what? No, you don't. Why? Because there's a minus there. So really, you can ignore this, and you just think of it as 3 plus 6i, because technically there's a 1 in front, and if you distribute it, it's just 3 plus 6i. But you do need to distribute this negative, even though it's subtraction, it's like you're multiplying both by a negative 1. So it's negative 4 plus 2i, and then you just add like terms. So 3 and negative 4 is negative 1. 6i and 2i makes 8i, which of course you could write 8i minus 1. Either one of these is fine. So as you can see, I don't think this is too difficult once you understand the letter I. Now we do have a number here, so we got to distribute. 4 minus 8i. Now think of this as a negative 3 being distributed through here. So that's negative 6 minus 12i. Again, like terms, negative 2. Like terms, well, you got negative 8i and negative 12i, negative 20i. This stuff's not too terrible. But now you got to remember your rules. I squared equals negative 1. That is a rule that's going to start popping up. When I distribute this, I get 8i. When I distribute this, I get negative 4i squared. Again, what is I squared? Negative 1. So this is like negative 4 times negative 1. So this is just 8i. And then what's a negative times a negative? Positive 4. Done. Uh-oh. Now this is a FOIL. Why? Well, like this problem, there was a minus. If there's a minus or a plus in here, you do not FOIL. But we definitely have a binomial times a binomial here. So what I'm going to do, just to stay good and organized, is I'm going to make the good old FOIL box. Negative 2 minus 2i, 3 minus i. This times this is negative 6. This times this is negative 6i. This times this is 2i. Negative times a negative is positive. But remember, we're not multiplying. We're adding once we get done. But right now, I'm sorry if I got tongue twisted there or brain twisted. We are multiplying right now. So this would be 2i squared. This times this is 2i squared. So I get 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. Now, some students start multiplying in here, and that's why I was thinking ahead, and I actually might have confused you, and I apologize. But we're looking for like terms, and the FOIL box takes care of that for you. Negative 8, and then we get minus 4i. Done. All right, example 5. Again, you've heard me say this a few times already this trimester, but you cannot square this, 4, square that, 9, and get the right answer. How come? Think about it. What's 2 plus 3? 5. What's 5 squared? 25. This is the wrong way to go. You may not distribute that squared if there's a plus or a minus in here. You cannot do it. And some of you are still going to try. But what does this mean? It means exactly what it says. Multiply that stuff in the parentheses by itself. And now, are these conjugates where we can fool? No. So we have to FOIL. So here we go. And I'm going to put this one along the top, this one along the side, even though they're the same. Now we multiply, roofs fly off. This times this. It's looking a little messy, but oh well. This times this, same thing. Be careful on this. When I see this coming, when an I squared's popping up, I don't put it in the box. I write it over here and then simplify it. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. I times I is I squared. This is the same thing as 4 times negative 1, which is negative 4. Again, love the FOIL box. It just organizes things. Negative 1. And these are weird looking, but they are considered like terms. So minus 4i squared of 3. Strange looking answer, but that's it. All right. This is going to finish it, guys. So, example 6. Notice these are conjugates. So we can just, so how come? Because if I go outside and inside, those are just going to cancel. So we can just take a shortcut. 3 times 3 is 9. Now the is going to be a little difficult. So I'm going to take my time on this one. Negative I square root of 2 times positive I square root of 2. So this gets a little bit weird, but this negative times a positive is going to be a negative. But then I get I times I, which is I squared. I'm going to show my steps. Square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is just 2. Now this is the same thing as a negative times a negative, because that's what I square is, negative 1 times 2. And we end up getting plus, see all this makes up 2. And 9 plus 2 is 11. That'll do it. Make sure to take care of your homework on page 47.